So I was originally planning to record this on my digital camera, and I had a fancy tripod and everything set up, but my camera decided to go low battery like 10 minutes before my scheduled interview time, so we are now doing this old school on the photo booth on my MacBook. So we'll see how this works and how crappy of quality it is, but I'm still planning on recording my entire interview. That freaked me out. It's just a Snapchat notification, but I'm like really on edge staring at my phone. So we've got about 10 to 12 minutes before my interview time, and I'm really nervous and I'm freaking out. I'm so much more nervous for this interview than I was for my spring interview. For my spring one, sorry. For my spring one, I woke up like 45 minutes before my interview, rolled out of bed, and I did my interview still in my pajamas. And for this one, I had like a whole setup. I have notes to take ready, and I don't know why this one's just so much more stressful. And I feel like I'm about to explode, so hopefully this gets over with soon. Hello, this is Ashley.
Hi Ashley, this is Linda from Disney. How are you today?
I'm doing great, Linda. How are you?
I am great, thank you. I'm calling for your telephone interview for the summer alumni program. Is this still a good time for you?
Yes, this time is perfect.
Alright, good. So just to let you know, we'll be on the phone maybe about 15 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
and we're just going to talk a little bit about you and your work experience, and talk about some of the roles that you're interested in. And then at the end, I can try and answer any questions you might have, okay?
Right, sounds good.
Alright, good. So I see that you are attending the University of Iowa, is that correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay, good. How's your semester going?
It's going really well. I'm taking a lot of my core classes right now, so it's hard, but I'm making it through it. And I'm just doing a lot of work and volunteering as well throughout the semester.
Good. Keeping you busy?
Yes, definitely. But I'm the type of person who prefers to be busy, so it's nice for me.
It looks like, are you graduating this year?
I am going to be graduating this coming fall, so in December of 2018.
That's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Always nice to see the light at the end of that tunnel.
Yep, it's coming soon.
Good. And then just a question we always ask all of our students. Are you currently an international student studying in the U.S. on a visa?
No.
All right. And I saw that you were a lifeguard of the program at All-Star?
Yes, that's correct.
Awesome. How did you like your experience?
I really loved being a lifeguard at the All-Stars. I've been a lifeguard for about 6 years, so it was just something that I was very comfortable with going into, even though it was on a bigger scale, obviously, at Disney, and more safety focused and more interaction with guests than I would usually get at my other lifeguard jobs. And the team I worked with was really great. I loved all of the other lifeguards and all my leaders and coordinators.
Yeah, they're really great. The lifeguard has a really great team. They all work
Yeah.
really well.
Yeah, there's a lot of teamwork involved in the role at Disney, for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. Did you have to do any saves or anything?
I did have a few minor saves. They weren't anything serious to where I had to like give CPR or anything, but I did have to jump in, I believe, 2 or 3 times throughout my program to help kids who were struggling.
Yeah, I mean, that's important.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and you said you were a lifeguard at the University of Iowa, too, right?
Yes, correct. I've been a lifeguard since I was 16.
Okay, good. You must be a very strong swimmer.
Yes, I am, definitely. We have a lot of trainings for lifeguarding monthly with the job I have now, so we're always doing swim tests and just making sure our skills are kept up to date.
Yeah, very good. And then, did you live in the Disney housing when you were in the program?
Yes, I did. I lived in Vista Way.
Awesome. How many roommates did you have?
It was me and 5 other girls.
Nice. Do you guys all get along pretty well? Did you have any stressful situations or anything?
We really didn't have any bad roommate situations that occurred. I went random. The only person that I knew was the girl that I was sharing the room with. We had met up before on one of the Facebook pages. And we all had really different work schedules because some of my roommates worked in Magic Kingdom, so they had the later hours. And then I was up in the morning and then staying till pretty late at the resorts. So while we didn't really see each other or hang out much throughout our program, we never had any issues while living together in the apartment. We always just kept our areas clean and just never disputed about anything. If there ever was a problem, we just talked it out and worked it out normally.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good to hear. I think that's an important part of the program, just learning to live with others, too.
Yeah, I agree. It can definitely make or break your program if you're not getting along with the people you live with.
Yep, exactly. Well, good. And then I always like to talk a little bit about the Disney look and appearance guidelines. I'm sure you're familiar with those still.
Yes, I am.
Okay. So for costuming then, do you have any tattoos, any piercings, any ear cages, anything like that?
Yes, I have a nose piercing, which I did have on my spring program, and I was compliant. I took it out before every shift. And then I have double piercings in both ears, and then a tattoo on my ankle.
Did you use the makeup then?
I actually wore socks, so I did the socks and gym shoes combination while I was lifeguarding.
Okay. Then when you jumped in, you jumped up
Yeah, I did. I had to deal with wet shoes for the rest of the day, which I knew coming in is something that I would have to deal with having the tattoo on my ankle.
Right. Okay. Is that your left ankle or your right ankle?
My right ankle.
Right ankle. And how big is it? Is it tiny? One by one?
Yeah, I would say it's smaller, like probably 2 inches by 2 inches.
Did you have to wear it when you were training too?
Yeah, at all times we had to have it covered up. So, during training, I usually tried to use some makeup, but it was a more expensive makeup. So, during my normal shifts, I just wore the socks.
That's good. So let's say you kept getting your shoes wet during training.
Yeah, and sometimes we would have training before shifts, so it wouldn't be a great experience to have wet shoes throughout the entire shift.
I think there's a waterproof makeup now.
Yes, I have seen that. I know they have it at Sephora and other stores.
Yeah, because that would be maybe something to try too.
Yeah,
So you took your nose piercing out.
Yes.
And you took the multiple piercings out too, right?
Yeah, I never usually wear double earrings. If I do, it's usually just the one hole.
Alright, good. So that's good. I actually haven't never talked to a lifeguard that had ankle tattoos. That was interesting to hear.
There were actually a lot of lifeguards at the All-Stars that had tattoos they had to cover, so we all kind of just dealt with it and did what we had to do.
You know, at Disneyland, you can't have any tattoos as a lifeguard.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah, they're a little bit different there.
Mhm.
So for World, you can have them, but Disneyland, you can't.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so just in case you ever want to go out to Disneyland.
Yep, now I know I can't be a lifeguard there.
Right, right. And another thing to watch out for is wrist tattoos.
Mhm.
Positions you can't work out with a wrist tattoo.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, so I always mention that just in case. Like, in case
Anyone's planning to get one.
yeah, because there's a lot of roles you can't work out with a wrist tattoo.
Mhm.
Food and beverage, merchandise, things like that.
Yeah, that can make sense. It's easy to possibly see or if something slips.
Right, exactly. So, alright, good. Well, I'm glad that all worked out for you.
Mhm.
That was good. And then some of the roles may require to operate a vehicle. Do you have a valid U.S. driver's license?
Yes, I do.
Alright, good. Very good. And I see that you are interested in both programs, speaking of Disneyland.
Yeah.
So I saw you're interested in Walt Disney World Summer Alumni. Those dates are May 21st to August 9th, and the Disneyland dates are May 21st to August 4th.
Okay.
But I think I saw you're more interested in Florida.
Yes, I am.
Okay, all right, very good. But just in case you do get offered a role in California, they always want to know if you're bringing a car. Do you think you'd bring a car in on this road trip from Illinois?
Yeah, I have a car, or I had a car during my spring program, so I'd probably try to plan it whichever coast I get into to still have that car, just because it was a nice convenience to have.
It is nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, and it's not too bad of a drive from Illinois to Florida. Now, Illinois to California would be like a fun little.
Yeah, that would definitely take a few days, make a big trip out of it, probably.
Yeah, but at least Illinois you can get there, day and a half or something.
Yeah, that's true.
So, very good. And I know you had a great experience last time. So if you get an offer from the Summer Alumni program, what are you hoping to gain from or learn on the program?
One of the things that I wish I had done more on my spring program is different networking opportunities. I know they offered like certain classes through the housing programs and such, but I just never had the time to check them out or go to them. So I definitely just like to have the opportunity to talk to people in different departments and just learn about their experiences and how they got their start with Disney. And then if I were to get placed in a role where I could do this, I'd love to be able to work in different locations. Working at All Stars was great, but it would have been really nice to be able to experience other locations and just see how they ran their operations.
Like merchandise or
Yeah, exactly.
something like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, actually, I've heard a couple lifeguards say that too. That you can't really
Yeah,
rotate around.
it's really rare. Sometimes they'll deploy you if another resort is really short on lifeguards, but it never happened to me during my program.
Yeah, or some people would start out at the resort and then go to Typhoon Lagoon or something.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, oh, that makes sense. I think it's always good to get different experiences, anyways.
Yes,
Interesting.
I completely agree.
So, very good. And what did you find most challenging on the program last time?
Most challenging. I think just being able to deal with different guests and situations as they come. You have to realize that not every guest is the same, and not every guest's Disney experience is the same. Some of them, it may be their 10th time. Some of them, it may be their first and only trip throughout their life. So just dealing with the problems that come up throughout their trips and trying to treat them, not all the same, but treat them in the best way that you can and help solve their problems in the best way that you can.
Yep, exactly. Did you ever have any kind of difficult guest situations?
We had a lot of, sometimes a lot of difficult guests at the All Stars. A lot of the issues arose when we had like an emergency pool closure, and I know some of the guests were really upset because they had planned a pool day in their vacation, and suddenly their whole schedule is thrown off. But we just tried to handle it in the best way we could by giving them other options, offering them the ability to go to the other pools at the All Stars if one of them was closed, say at movies. We would help transport them over to music, and just fixing their concerns in the best way we possibly could.
Yeah, exactly. And how did you like the pace of your role? Because it can be really busy and hectic some days, maybe a little bit slower in some days.
Yeah, I was able to adjust like how I worked based on how the day was. A lot of the times at All Stars, we were very busy because we had a lot of big groups staying there. But once those groups left or they were at their competition or their stuff, it was a lot slower and less people at the pools. So you just have to be able to adjust your work pace, I guess, is the word I'm trying to say. And it was nicer when it was slower because I had the ability to interact on a more personal level with guests. And then when it was busier, I kind of had to focus more on the safety and making sure I'm keeping track of everyone in the pool.
Right. Right. And it's hard too because the guests want to talk to you and you can't always talk to them.
Yes, exactly.
So, and are you still comfortable working outside if you have to? Because a lot of the roles, like attractions, some of them work outside too.
Yeah, of course. I definitely know that coming into it.
Yeah, good. We were outside a lot.
Oh, yes, hours and hours on end.
You were even out in the rain as long as it wasn't thunder or lightning.
Yep, that's right.
Now, I saw you have a little bit of interest in lifeguard again.
Mhm.
But it kind of sounds like you wouldn't mind a different experience. Is that what I'm kind of gathering?
Yeah, as I would be comfortable doing lifeguarding again just because it's something that I've done before and I'm okay with it, but I would really like to have a completely different experience this program. I think that would be a nice way to go into this program.
Yeah, and maybe even work in a theme park this time.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, okay, good. Good. And then I saw that you do have merchandise and food and beverage on here, and I saw that you had experience working at McDonald's.
Yes, that was about 4 years ago, I believe. I did it right before I went to college just to earn some extra money, and I had a few friends that worked at the McDonald's in my town. So I just picked up a quick job for the few months of summer before my fall semester started.
And did you learn to use the register at McDonald's, or were you working
Yes, I was mostly on register. I would work the front register inside the store and then also the drive-through. So I was never really part of the food prep. I was more part of the taking orders, handling cash, and such.
Okay. So you might be comfortable in that role, either with retail or food and beverage.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. And like I say, those two you could be outside because we have the stands outside selling retail,
Right.
food and beverage.
Mhm.
Or you could be at a park or even at Disney Springs. Our guests love to shop and eat.
Yes. Yes.
Just be a favorite amongst them. And then also sometimes you do in the back of house, like in retail, it's doing like stocking,
Right.
inventory, opening boxes. With food and beverage, it might be some food prep, which I know you said you didn't work at it in the kitchen, but you could be doing like the fryer or
Yeah.
food
Mhm.
salads and things like that. So it's good that you're comfortable working around food.
Yes, definitely.
So. And then speaking of food, cedar roll, I saw that you had that on here too. That roll, you're greeting the guests when they come into the sit-down restaurant.
Mhm.
That could be anything from like Crystal's Palace to Chef Mickey to a restaurant at a resort.
Right.
And you'd be greeting them, maybe giving them a pager if they're not ready, the table's not ready,
Mhm.
seating them at their table. You could even be a food runner, passing food out to their table, or if it's a buffet location, you might be stocking the buffet too.
Mhm.
So you're just not a server; you're more like a hostess.
Right.
So you've probably seen some of those at the resorts too.
Yes, I've definitely eaten at a few restaurants where they had the cedars there.
Yeah, or a lot of the even like I said, Cinderella Castle or
Mhm.
Prime Time, or Mama Melrose, something like that. And then attractions, you could be giving a presentation in front of a large audience using a microphone, and you might even be on the parking trams where you're
Mhm.
using the microphone, delivering the spiel about what's happening that day.
Right.
Part too. They lump them together because they assume if you can you're comfortable over a microphone, you can be comfortable in either one of those.
Yeah, I remember that. I think my spring program that was new to the
Yeah.
parking being part of attractions. Yeah.
Yep, it used to be called main entrance operations.
Mhm.
Separate. But I'm thinking because I know your major is part of the communication college, right?
So my major is communications and sciences, so it's kind of like speech path, which is more of a speech therapy. Yeah.
Okay. So have you had some speech classes too?
Not really. No, more of my classes are like sciencey and math. But I have been in marching band I was in it in 4 years in high school, and then I did 2 years in college. So memorization is like one of my strong points, I believe. Just I know it's different for music, but it also kind of carries over to the text sense as well.
Oh yeah, and being comfortable performing in front of
Yes, exactly.
You said you did marching band in high school and college?
Yeah, I did it all 4 years in high school, and then I only did it for 2 years in college because my class schedule got kind of too heavy, and I wasn't able to continue with it.
Yeah. That's a great experience. Now, what instrument did you play?
I was flute and piccolo. Yeah, I loved it.
That's a good experience. Very good.
Mhm.
And then also with attractions, I always like to ask about heights. Like, are you afraid of heights? Are you okay with heights?
I've never experienced a fear with heights. I ride all the tall rides and such, so I don't think I'd have a problem with them.
I always ask because, like, what if you're working Everest and it breaks down? I need to make sure my cast members feel safe.
Yes, I totally understand, and some people have that deep fear.
Yeah, and I'm always like, even when somebody says they are kind of, I'm like, oh my gosh, no worries. We have attractions that are on the ground.
Yeah.
Story time with Belle. We have Dumbo.
Mhm.
We have Small World. We have lots of things that I just like to make a note of it.
Yeah, I understand. Something to consider.
Yeah. So, very good. Well, based on the descriptions and the role checklist and some of the roles we talked about today, are you able to perform the essential functions of those roles with or
Yes.
without reasonable accommodation?
Yep, I am.
All right, awesome. So, Ashley, those are all the questions I have today. So, what happens next is the majority of our offers will be made in late March.
Okay.
So, keep checking your dashboard for regular updates. But like I said at the beginning, I can take any questions you might have right now. Do you have any questions for me?
I guess I have a question, more just about. It's kind of a strange question. It's about the name tag. During my spring program, I was able to get a name tag with the sign language pin on it. if I were to get accepted and come back, would I be able to use that name tag again, or would I have to go through the language test and then get a new one?
That's a great question. And you were there, when did you get back? 2017, right?
Yes, correct. Yeah, because I know the process took a while, so I don't know if I'd be able to do it in time, because the program is a much shorter one than the spring one.
Yeah. I guess what I would do is if you get an offer, then you could bring the name tag down with
Mm-hmm.
you, you know, and then tell them at that time that you had already passed it and you wanted
Okay.
to do that. That's, I guess, how I would approach it.
Okay.
You know, just because then I don't see why it wouldn't, why you would have to take a test.
Right. I don't know. I didn't know if they would, like, assume that you had lost some fluency in it or such, so.
I know, so you never know. That is a good question.
Okay.
Because I don't think you have to go through traditions again. That's the other thing, too.
Okay.
For a new CP program, I think you have to go through traditions. I don't know if you have to for summer alumni.
Okay.
But you run training. That's a question, too. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, I guess can find out if I eventually get down there.
Yeah, that's a good question, too. I'm looking at my little notes about summer alumni.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah. So I guess I would just bring it with you.
Okay. Yeah, sounds great.
Let them know, you know, that, hey, when you go through arrivals and
Mm-hmm.
like, if you get an offer and you go through arrivals, let them know that you were certified in that.
Yeah, doesn't hurt to ask.
No, I did that. But you probably helped a lot of people out with that.
I actually, unfortunately, didn't get a lot of interaction with guests who were deaf at the All-Stars, but if I were to be in a role such as, like, merchandise or quick service in a park, I feel like it would be a lot more beneficial to have. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, like in a park or something.
Yes, exactly.
Or a park reader or something like that.
Yes, totally.
Yeah, I'm going to actually ask about that, too. I'll work with folks now.
Okay.
You gave me some questions. A very good question. One is if you have to do traditions again, and the other one is about, I mean, who wouldn't want to go through traditions again?
Yeah, I loved traditions. I remember all the videos they showed. I was sobbing just because it was so heart-touching.
I know, it's fun. I love it. I would go through it again, too. Yeah, I would just bring it, if you get an offer, I'd bring it with you and bring it up at the time of arrival.
Okay, sounds great.
So, all right, awesome. Or, you know, here's another thought, too. Sometimes they do the CP chat on Twitter. Are you on Twitter?
Yes, I am.
Sometimes they do that chat.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen that, or the alumni chat?
Yeah, I have, where people ask questions and such.
Yeah, that might be a question to ask. Say that you applied for the summer alumni program and you weren't sure, like,
Mm-hmm.
you have to get recertified in that or not. That's not
Okay.
bad either.
Sounds great.
Our recruiters, those are like our managers who do that.
Uh-huh.
There's always someone who knows everything.
Of course.
More than you. So, very awesome. Well, Ashley, thanks for your interest in the summer alumni program. It was great talking to you.
Yeah, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me.
Oh, you're welcome. Happy Valentine's Day.
You too.
And you have yourself a magical Valentine's Day, okay?
Yeah, you as well. Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye. Ah! I think that went so good. I'm gonna cry. She was so great and she was so talkative. Her name was Linda. I'm sure you heard that, but she was amazing. She just, like, loved talking to me, and I'm so happy about it. I was so nervous. I want to scream.